Hey everyone, it's been a minute. I hope you're doing okay. Really sorry for the gaps in posting episodes. Life has just been lifing, and I wanted to make sure I got these episodes just right. And that's the unfortunate curse of perfectionism and scheduling. That's just a recipe for disaster right there. So I just want to let you know the upcoming 2 episodes were recorded back in September, and we will be recording all new stuff going forward, and we have some plans that will be announced soon. So till that point, kick back, relax, and enjoy this new episode of Panel Zone.
Welcome to the Panel Zone. Alright, so can you ask you? Where are we? You're in the Panel Zone.
Are you sure you are not a superhero or extremely gifted person?
Welcome to the Panel Zone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of The Panel Zone. I am Zachary Final Crisis Cobb.
And I'm Ari Endgame Levinson.
And for today's episode, unfortunately, it is a little emotional day today, as this is Ari's final day as co-host on the podcast.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. We started this podcast in February of this year?
Yeah, I believe it was February of this year.
Rebooting our sort of comic book, it went from Comic Chatter, 2019 to this. This podcast has been through, 2 iterations, but this version, I really felt I've jived with this attempt to talk about comic books. I've become more into comic books as I've become an adult. Definitely, not that I wasn't into them when I was a kid, but definitely in terms of actively reading comic books. So it's been really nice to talk about it with this renewed passion. I've really enjoyed being on this show. I've talked about a lot of stuff I've enjoyed, and, if it were up to me and if I had the capability to do so, I'd stay on the show. But I trust the show will be in good hands with Zach at the helm and whoever he chooses as next co-host.
Absolutely. I'd mentioned beforehand on last episode that I am extremely grateful that we were able to build our ideas together and make this our own, and have that as something that we both can learn from together, learning from together, you getting experiencing more of comic books and me experiencing other comic books that you are getting into likewise, and just kind of having that a shared bonding moment together. And it's been wonderful, and having something that's our own together, and I just could not have asked for a better co-host. So I just thank you so much for being an awesome creative partner, and I'm very proud of what you're going off to do, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what else you have in store, just creative wise and just life in general, man. I'm just so I'm holding back the thug tears.
You're gonna miss me. You're gonna miss me.
No, maybe.
Whoa. What are you, fucking Batman?
Don't worry about Alfred.
Superman,
Please.
But no, I appreciate the sentiments, and this doesn't necessarily mean this will be the absolute final time I'll show up on the show.
Oh, of course.
I might re-show up as a guest if I have the time. It's just time is something I'm not gonna have a lot of. Hence my reason for leaving.
Yeah, understandable, man. These are got a lot of big stuff on your plate coming up, and you gotta get that grind on. But absolutely, I have a lot of really awesome people in mind to joining in on the show, and I can always steer this boat, regardless of that fact. But I just loved having something that's just the two of us, and I will definitely keep the ship going in for this, just for the love of it, man, because I love comics, and I love expressing that love of comics with other people. But yeah, man, just reminiscing on like when we first started comic chatter back in the day, just the idea of it, of
I remember the comic chatter was created with our artistry sort of group in mind, And
Right.
and in my opinion, while that was cool in concept, I thought, it was less about us and more about the group instead of more about our passion. And it feels a lot more freeing to just sort of talk about my or your opinions, or even other people whom we have had on the show, like Tim, who I quite enjoyed. I really enjoyed having him on the show. He was Walking Dead was a very fun episode to do, especially given my passion for the franchise, not just in comics but in TV,
like video game,
comics, video game. Like, I just love Walking Dead. So that was obviously like one of my favorite episodes that I did, was the first one. Which, granted, that one there were some growing pains. But
oh Lord, talk about that growing pains. The struggle of this with the setup of recording in a lively setting that does not have, like, barely has Wi-Fi, and relying to use our cell data to keep everything going.
Or having to use like external recording devices as backup. Like, it certainly posed its challenges, but I definitely enjoyed filming at Pack Rat. It was also just more doable given the fact that, it would have been harder to film at home.
Yeah.
For me, for personal reasons. But I enjoyed filming at Pack Rat. Of course, and we'll get to it. There were some hiccups. There was a hiccup with an episode, and we'll talk about that after we talk about some of the other episodes that we've done.
Oh, yeah. But absolutely, like, I loved, I absolutely loved filming with Tim on The Walking Dead, even though I have not had the most experience with this franchise compared to you or him. I enjoyed learning more about that. I would say my favorite episode, ironically, was actually the Transformers one with our buddy Ian. That one was my favorite. I think that one definitely was a lot more. I enjoyed that one the most because I was now familiar with something that you two that I can understand, less so being it like one person knowing one thing more than the other one did. And it was just an overall fun time, just kind of like both. All of us just reacting to the same thing at the same time in that moment.
Because we all read the new issue the day of recording as well. So sort of a live reaction thing, which is very nice to do.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't think we did a sort of live reaction to the current issue in any other episode. I don't think.
Oh wait, I think we did Spawn. I think the Spawn.
I think we did in Spawn, but Spawn had its issues. Spawn episode had its issues.
Yeah. I hated that day.
I actually really did like the Transformers one, but I just kind of like the Walking Dead one because I got. I like meeting new people who share pop culture interest to me, and Walking Dead, and I just got done, I think, like a month ago before that episode finished, to finish up reading The Walking Dead, so it was very fresh on my mind. I do love me a good Walking Dead comic book video essay, and that's why it was my favorite. Transformers is a franchise I like more, hence why probably Transformers would be my second favorite episode. But Walking Dead, it's just I had so much content. It was very fresh.
That's fair. I I definitely it had a lot like having that comic out that day definitely gave a lot of good material to work off of in that moment. Versus going back to reading the trade paperbacks. But I definitely would say that one is my favorite. I don't like second one would probably be the Invincible one we did because I think
that one was fun. That one I had finished reading Invincible even like sooner. Like,
yeah.
Between that episode, like I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks before that episode was recorded that I had read all the compendiums.
Yeah, I literally had just finished the that season's finale, like around the time when we were recording together.
Oh yeah, and the show. I had read the comics and I'd finished the show.
Yeah, like it was like a very much a heat of the moment kind of thing with that. Like that was so like we just saw this really cool thing. And, like, holy crap, man! Did you saw that? You saw that? Like it was so much fun.
It was. And Robert Kirkman just has a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah, I think like
so.
Love his work. I love his work. I know he did. What was the other one that he was involved in that's connected to Transformers?
Void Rivals.
Void Rivals. Yeah.
One of my biggest regrets that I couldn't get to, given my time on the show, is that we couldn't make a Void Rivals episode.
Yeah.
Void Rivals. I'm not caught up with it. I decided to read it per volume, which means I'm going to hold off on buying, I'm just going to buy it per volume, which means, I'm swearing off reading it online so I can read it per volume. And, I know that might not be the best way to be currently caught up, but I kind of want to physically support it, but I don't want to have to go back and buy every single book like I did with Transformers, so I would prefer the ease of access of buying the volumes. So that's sort of how I'm choosing to read it. Not that it's the best way, but it's the way that I kind of feel like I want to support the series. But from what I've read so far, it's really good. Robert Kirkman really knows what he's doing with this new story, these new characters, and even the Transformers themselves that are present within Void Rivals, because one cannot exist without the other.
Yes.
Void Rivals story could not exist without the presence of Transformers and Transformers lore-related things. And Robert Kirkman is just doing such a good job with it. I wish I could have talked about it in an episode, but it's just,
it is what it is.
My personal hope and my personal request, my final request, is that you consider making a Void Rivals episode. I think there would be a lot of cool stuff to talk about, and I think it'd make a worthwhile episode to talk about. I'd love to get some attention on Void Rivals.
I think that'd be a lot of fun to talk about because it does look like a really interesting series as well as like just delving into Robert Kirkman's whole like bibliography and all the other stuff he's worked on outside of Walking Dead and Spawn. Walking Dead. I was gonna not Spawn. Fake fan. I'm sorry. Let me return my Robert Kirkman fandom card back. I'm so sorry. I meant Robert Kirkman's other stuff outside of Walking Dead and Invincible. I was thinking Spawn because I was gonna say that because Robert Kirkman and Todd McFarlane worked on a comic together. And it was a character that appears in the Spawn books. Because that's what I was thinking, like the correlation there. But like I got it twisted. Yes, my favorite.
So that sports fans is what we call a swing and a miss.
I know. We're batting for zeros over here. Todd wishes that he wrote Invincible. Nah, I think that'd be really fun.
I see where you're coming from. Speaking of Spawn, I think we should talk about the Spawn episode. And the ugly. I want to clarify that the content of the episode was not the problem. It was very enjoyable to talk about. The issue is that, like we mentioned, where we're using entirely cellular data to record, our software didn't save the first take. The first time we recorded.
And it was a really great first take.
And the first take, it was, I'm not going to lie, guys, you guys missed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was way, The jokes were better. I was reacting to the first time to some stuff Zach was showing me about the movies and the funny CGI devil, and I can't pretend to react for the first time again. I can pretend, but that seems a little disingenuous on my part. I can still laugh at how goofy it looks, but it wasn't the first time.
Right. It doesn't hit the same when you see it again after like seeing it the first time.
But it was frustrating losing that take. And again, it's why that episode was a little delayed. Not that we haven't had delays in other episodes.
Right.
First delayed episode. And it was just sort of unfortunate because it's not that the second take wasn't bad. If it was bad, we would not have posted it.
Absolutely.
But it's the fact that the first take was just so much better. The chemistry was better. The talk was more enthusiastic. I don't want to feel like we're ever doing episodes out of obligation. And that first episode felt, to me at least, it had more passion because of the first time reaction to some Spawn stuff on my part. Zach knows a lot. Zach knew a lot more about Spawn going in. I have a bunch of the compendiums. I've only read some of the recent issues, not any of the rest of the original, the rest of it from the beginning forward. And I don't know if I'm even going to have time to do that now, given what I've signed up to do.
Exactly.
My reason for leaving the show. So, it's going to be a while before I ever get around to the point where I can catch up. So
yeah, and catching up is still as hard as is with all the extra titles going on that are vital to the story that's going on in the current arc. But yeah, I completely understand. Like, there's only so much commitment you have to a title with life going on.
Yeah. So the Spawn episode, it's the best way I can describe it is bittersweet. The technical issues were very frustrating. There have been times where it's almost happened, but we took precautions to prevent it from that point on. But that episode was just very frustrating. It was my least favorite episode that we did.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, it's unanimous. And also, it's just sort of a bummer because we originally were going to have a guest. Who was going to be the guest?
On which episode?
For Spawn.
Oh, Spawn. Yeah, Tim was supposed to come back for that episode, but he couldn't make it that day.
So, we were dealing with, and don't get us wrong. We understand that, people get busy. It was, we were bummed. We were a little bummed about that, and then that happened. It just, the episode just was surrounded by circumstances that weren't the best.
Yeah, it tends to be a lot of that situation, especially with booking guests. Just sometimes things just happen, or you don't really hear back, and you have to clarify with the person over and over again. And that's just kind of the difficult thing with having stuff like that. But when it does work out, it's great. Yay, everything's all good. But it is what it is. With the Sonic episode, we were supposed to have a friend Natalie on the show, but we never ended up.
I was just about to bring this up, actually.
Yeah, and I never heard back from her after that. And which is really unfortunate because I was very excited to have her on the show to talk about, because when I talked with her about Sonic stuff, with the Archie stuff, she had a lot of really fun takes about and history with reading those comics. So I thought she would have been a really good fit for that episode. But unfortunately, her being a busy artist, going to conventions and stuff like that, just kind of things happen. Which is
she's a big shot to say.
She's a big celebrity in our corner. Yeah, that's. But it is what it is. And there's always other awesome people within that corner as well, with comic people in the city. Like, Columbus is just an art-filled place. There's plenty of awesome creators that deserve a platform as well. So it's not an end-all be-all situation in terms of that.
Yeah. But, you know, obviously a guest showing up or not is not the end-all, be-all of an episode because, you know, me and Zach, when we choose a topic for the podcast in general, we either make sure to be at least somewhat familiar with the content or, like, yeah, actually, no, that's it.
Just know what we're talking about.
I know it sounds basic, but we choose a topic we actually want to talk about.
Exactly.
We don't feel the obligation to choose to talk about stuff that we're maybe not like as interested in.
Not unfamiliar with.
Also, folks, I'm just going to say that Zach is more knowledgeable about comic books than I am. He knows more series than I do. I'm, in terms of being an active comic reader, I'm very new. Because when I was a kid, like, I liked Sonic the Hedgehog. I would pick up a book now and then, but it wasn't cohesive.
Right.
It wasn't coherent.
Like a go-to thing.
Reading. Like, it was just, ooh, cool book. It has Sonic in it. This story's kind of neat, but like, it's the middle of the series, so I don't know what's going on. But it's cool to have the book or like this collection. But you know. Now, like the series, I don't follow as many series, but like the ones that I do, I try to read the whole thing. I do, again, like I said, I do eventually want to read up Spawn material. It's just, there's so much.
Yeah.
So,
it is big commitment.
It's something I can work on if I ever get downtime, or whatever little downtime I have, I will do it if I feel like it. But obviously, I also like stuff outside of comic books, so I have to weigh behind if I want to use my time to catch up a Spawn or if I want to do another hobby of mine, you know. And I know this sounds basic, but again, I'll just say this. I'm not going to go into detail. Law school is going to be busy for me. Busier than I've ever been before. So, yeah.
That just being busy in general is just not always the best feeling in the world. Like, it's always like it's very overwhelming and it's time consuming, and that drains more energy that you have, and putting having even enough like energy to get extra stuff done that's vital to whatever you need to do is can affect everything. Like, even the least amount of energy can be a lot. You know.
So, but again, I chose to do this, and I don't have any regrets. At least not yet. I hope I never have regrets.
I would hope not. You know,
you know, I'm a little nervous, but you know, this is what I signed up to do, and this is sort of what I want to do. And eventually, I'll reach a point where I'll have a very consistent schedule, a grasp on what I need to do, and I'm able to manage my time very well. It's a skill, but I enjoyed a lot of the episodes, or actually no, I enjoyed all of the episodes we did. I enjoyed the show as a whole. This was a very fun creative pet project, and you know, we never did it in the hopes of, you know, making it big and making money. You know, this was all about the passion.
Absolutely.
And you know, one thing I want to say is that, you know, I'm very thankful for the people at Pack Rat Comics for allowing us to record there. We've gotten very chummy with. It's a family business. We've been chummy with the people there.
Yeah.
And that sort of community is something that's always nice.
Absolutely. Like, any sense of community and belonging is the best feeling that there can be or ever is. And yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Incredibly thankful for Pack Rat for allowing us to use their space to record, and just showing love to local businesses that help other people out as well, and gives back to a community. So shout out Pack Rat Comics for being large supporters of the show, and just continuing to just help promote both local work and big comics that, you know, that entertain. Just thank you. You know, I don't know what else to say. Just thank you.
You know, Zach, just like when I when I was at Pack Rat yesterday, I saw you. It's not like you'll never see me again either.
I know,
I'll still be there
bro.
I'll still be there to pick up my monthly issue
Right.
of Transformers.
That was
I'll
such
always be there to stop in and say hi.
That was such an awesome surprise. I was not expecting that.
Well, I literally came straight from my law school building straight to there, because I was still gonna pick up my issue. I missed last month's Spawn issue, so I've just decided I'm gonna work on catching up before I start reading current issues again, because I really want more context.
That's fair.
Transformers is something I'm still actively tracking. And Void Rivals, I do know that the next volume book comes out in November. I intend to buy it either from Pack Rat or online. I didn't buy volumes 2 and 3 from Pack Rat because I really wanted to get all of the volumes as soon as possible when I decided to commit to getting them. So I did order them on Amazon, but I did get volume 1 at Pack Rat. It was nice to buy the book from there, and I'm hoping I'm able to buy volume 4 from there when it comes out. I'm gonna keep track on that because I'd rather spend my money at Pack Rat than on Amazon for comic books, but sometimes if it's not there, and I still want to read.
Right, it is what it is. And it's funny you mentioned Transformers, because they had recently announced that Robert Kirkman's taking over the lead writing for the book.
Daniel Warren Johnson is standing down as the head writer of the comic book. Next month's issue 24, is going to be the last issue he writes. Issue 25 will be Robert Kirkman's run. And actually, I know this isn't a Transformers episode, but this issue 23, this month's issue, it was amazing.
Oh, it was really good. It was really good.
It's probably one of my favorite issues. My favorite issue is when Optimus first gets Megatron's gun and says, "Let's go on the offensive." I forgot which issue that was. I don't know off the top of my head right now, but that was my favorite issue. So I would say issue 23 is probably my second favorite.
I love that. I know I was mentioning that because they just announced, IDW had just announced that their Ninja Turtle run is starting a new collective. There's a new creative team being involved in the book from the relaunch that they just recently announced, that Jean Luen Yang and Freddie E. Williams are going to be taking over the book because from Jason Aaron and the other various artists that have taken over. Jason Aaron was the person that started the relaunch of the title, and other various artists have kind of hopped around in the book, so it wasn't a consistent art style. But now they recently announced that a new team is going to be taking over the book, and I'm very excited. I've never heard of Gene's work, but I love Freddie E. Williams' artwork. He's done the artwork for the Batman Ninja Turtles crossover book, which I am a huge fan of. I love his art style, and I'm very excited to see what they bring to this current storyline that they've done, that they're building up to. I'm trying to get caught up with it because I know that issue 12 is going to be coming out in next month. That's the final book of Jason Aaron's run, and I'm very excited to see.
Speaking of thinking about starting new stuff, I've heard of stuff about Absolute Batman, and I genuinely think I don't know if I'm going to start buying the books, but whether it's finding them online or maybe getting volumes, I think I want to start reading Absolute Batman. It looks
It's really good.
A little freaky.
It's really good. My friend, I have a friend of mine. He's a Twitch streamer named Mo Chocolate 9K, and he loves this book. He loves this book. He said he generally told me it's one of it is the best Batman run he has read in a long time, and it's I definitely think that it is in my top 2 of the current Absolute run that's been going on at DC. I still think that Absolute Martian Manhunter is the best. But
I remember how you've talked about that.
It's so good, bro. It's so good. I love it. But yeah, Absolute Batman is really good. like I've not read a bad Scott Snyder written Batman run as of from my experience, but so far from what I've read of it, it's been really really cool. So I think you'll like it.
I think I will too. It also has some weirder, freakier imagery, and for like creepy stuff. Like I like creepy stuff. Walking Dead is a prime example of me creepier art styles.
Oh, I was saying, like, if you like creepy stuff, then there's another great Batman book called Batman Arkham Asylum by Grant Morrison. The artwork in that book is freaky. It is terrifying. It's so distorted and weird, but it's so enticing.
I think we all know the creepiest and coolest Batman comic. It's called The Batman Who Laughs.
No!
Stop!
No!
You can read it. It's impeccable.
No, it is not. It's Cringe Lord. It's Cringe Lord. He was cool for one arc, and DC decided, let's cash cow him. No. Let him die. Please. I can't stand him.
After all, also, Zach is a huge fan of Iron Man Armored Adventure.
Okay, you know what? It's time to end. It's time to end.
Tony Stark is a teenager and thinks it's a really good...
No! Bye! Bye! No! It is slander! I hear nothing but slander from your mouth! How dare you! Chat. It
sounds like someone's bad chat.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of that, I want to shout out my favorite movie, Transformers: Age of Extinction. What a top tier film experience! I love the
scene where they literally cite the Romeo and Juliet. That's my favorite scene of the whole movie.
Yes, I love
the entire scene to make that permissible. They had to draw attention to it in a Transformers film. Really, Michael Bay just really knows how to direct a movie. Please make more.
I love when they just kill off T.J. Miller. They just killed him off.
I love when they kill off one of the most enjoyable characters in Dark of the Moon for shock value.
I love
dying. So cool.
I love in the last night when they just have Bumblebee speaking and like have it be just a random moment.
Nemesis Prime has a cool design and it's not just Optimus with red shit on his face. That was really cool. Honestly, really good design choice. Transformers 1 can't even hold a candle.
Revenge of the Fallen wishes.
I think we can be done poking fun at each other.
I know.
Fire truce.
Truce. I'm waving my white flag. White flag.
Metaphorical white flag.
But yeah, thank you again so much for just being the best co-host I could ever ask for, and I'm very excited for you to carry on, see what whatever crazy thing life has in store for you, and the door is always welcome for you to come back anytime, whenever you want to. The panel zone is always open for you.
I feel a temporal shift. Looks like the zone is pulling me back.
Well, looks. I salute you, sir, as you exit the portal.
I appreciate it, and if I get the time, I definitely will come back as a guest. If you make the Void Rivals episode, I think I'd be a great guest for that.
Well, listen, stay tuned for that. Anything's possible.
Anyways, I think I'm ready to leave the panel zone.
Well, the panel zone door is open for you to exit. Thank you for everything, and safe travel.
Everyone, please continue to support the show. A humble request from one of the creators of the show. I really think that Zach is going to do a great job, and whoever he chooses as a co-host, or even if he chooses to host by himself, that the show will still be of great quality and interest. Still support local businesses, because if local comic book shops don't get your money, people won't make books. And,
Mo-
and we want to read books.
Yes. Speak with your money, people.
Anyway, that's it for
The Panel Zone.